Hello, Kyle's Garage viewers, and welcome back to another episode. Boy, am I happy to get the Expedition out of here. That thing was just blocking up the works. But as you see here, I got some exhaust pipe. My daily driver had an issue, which is the Forester. So we're going to rebuild the exhaust on it. And I just want to say, before we get started, the video is a little bit longer than I wanted to make it. But it was really hard to condense everything down. I think I just either over-filmed or over-talked or anything. Anyways, I'll just shut up. Enjoy the video. Alright, underneath, don't mind the ugliness of this exhaust. However, right here, gigantoid crack. Yeah. And that goes out to the exhaust, or the tailpipe there, but yeah, it's cracked pretty good all the way around. It's, she ain't happy. Not to mention, this exhaust flange gasket is also bad. I'm going to change that. As well as, where you at? Right there. The manifold gaskets are leaking. Well, the manifold gasket on the other side is leaking. And I'm going to get in there and at least change all those because, you know, can't be having it. Alright, so originally what I wanted to do was go and buy a section of 2.5 inch pipe and do it in 2.5 inch pipe, but I had this pipe laying around from the Mustang that I pulled the Lima engine out of. But yeah, it's a pretty good long run. It's 2-inch down here or something. I'll bust out some measuring equipment to measure the exact size, but it tapers upward just a little bit and finishes off with a fat turn down style pipe, but it almost is perfect for underneath the Subaru, and I will show you. Okay, so my plan is something like this. You can kind of see what I'm getting at here is on this pipe. This is all not factory, by the way. For whatever reason, it has a bendy bend right here. I did not do this exhaust. I just made it worse. But yeah, it's rubbing anyways. It goes this way. But if you look at this pipe, it's a little bit more of a straighter shot. And it kind of bends naturally pretty close to where we need. And we can always cut it down, and bend it because we have cutters and torch and welder, and we'll make the exhaust do exactly what we want it to do. So yeah, I got to start by cutting the old one out. Alright, there's the old exhaust out, and it was in pretty rough shape. Nice little leaky there, and a, gigantoid crack, because, that's just how it do. It was almost cracked all the way around. Come on, I'll break you off. It's stronger than me right now. Okay, but yeah. Believe it or not, this is actually a resonator off of a Ford Focus ST, circa 2012 to 15 or something, I don't know. But anyways, yeah, that is off of Ford Focus ST. See? Fomoko. Ford parts on a Japanese car. And it's hilarious because the new exhaust that we're about to put on came off of this old scrap Mustang that I got the Lima engine out of, so haha, more Ford into the Subaru. And you might be asking yourself right now, why didn't I just unbolt all of the exhaust down right now? Is because I do need to undo the rest of the exhaust, the manifold and the rest of the catalytic converter pipe now that I have, to re-gasket it because all the gaskets are leaking. But the reason I left it the rest of it in there is so I can mock the exhaust up and make it really nice and make sure everything's going to fit. Then I'll go ahead and unbolt it all and regasket it, and everything should fit. So it's also somewhat tradition on this channel. Well, I don't know if it's a tradition, but I'd like to make it a tradition. Anytime that I unbolt the exhaust or have a straight pipe of any kind, we got to start it up and see what it sounds like with no muffler or anything like that. This will have a open header with a catalytic converter, which acts kind of like a muffler, but yeah, let's fire this thing up anyway and just listen to how loud it is and then let it cool down so I can actually work on the thing. Okay, so as you could tell, that was really loud, and really did not want the cops called on me, so I wasn't able to rev it up much. Wish I could have, though. God, it probably would have been backfiery and awesome, but I'm sorry, guys. It's the best I could do for right now. Alright, so I got this new section of pipe set up here. Got a couple little shapes so I know about where I want it. And, oh man, this is going to be really difficult to film. Okay, so I've just got it held up with my knee, and I'm holding up the exhaust right about where it looks good. Obviously, I'm going to have to bring it up. It's pointed down, and then you got that weird whoop-de-doo over there that we're going to completely cut off. But it's got just enough clearance all the way around it. Like I said, very hard to film. I'm just holding it in there. But what I'm going to do is I got my marks, how I like it, on the pipe. I'm going to go ahead and mark another spot where to cut this pipe so I can start jigsawing all this junk back together. Okay, I've got the exhaust, just those little spots cleaned up on there. I'm going to throw a couple tacks on it, so this piece that we have now can go in and be welded in, or tacked in anyway, and then I'm basically going to repeat this process. I'm going to get underneath the car, mark off a section, cut it, bend it on, or cut it on an angle if I have to bend the exhaust, and that's how I'm going to get this exhaust done. So no more talky-talky, more worky-worky. Okay, I got, the one tack you saw me do, and then I got another tack going on there. Then in the back, actually my exhaust is sagging because these tacks are beginning to let go a little bit because I've been flexing on it. So you can see it's sort of a mismatch there. Oh, yep. But what I'm going to do is I pull that muffler down and then push the exhaust pipe up. And let me get up underneath there a little closer and show you what's going on. Alright, here's the adapter that I cut an angle into. If you can see that. But let's roll up underneath the car so I can show you exactly why it's like that. Here's my little slip piece of exhaust I made so I can get a little bit of angle. Because the angle is what I'm going to need to get there. So anyway, took a little homemade piece, slip it on there a little further, and that slips right up to the exhaust, or the rest of the exhaust there, the tailpipe assembly. It's very hard with only one hand, but get the gist of it there. Ooh, I actually cut that angle really well. Check the other side here. Hold it with my knee very carefully in my hand. Don't fall on my face. It's not bad. The angle's decent. Oops. The muffler portion will actually slip into this adapter. If I could get it to, well, with two hands, much easier. So I'm going to go ahead and slip it all together, tack it, pull the exhaust out, and show you guys all of it before I finish welding and all that. Alright, I'm all the way at the very back of the car. I got the exhaust tacked up in place, and as you can see, it's very straight looking. It's pretty good. Doesn't interfere with anything. Looks really nice. I just have to unbolt it from the header up there, drop the exhaust down, finish welding it, and then, yeah, regasket the exhaust, which means I also got to pull the exhaust manifold off and put new exhaust manifold bolts, gaskets in there because gasket blown. But yeah, nice and straight. Very happy I am. To get the exhaust off on a Subaru is extremely easy. And literally the whole thing is on the bottom. It doesn't go over any axles or anything weird. It's all on the very bottom. Comes right off. Super easy. So I'm going to just pop off those two bolts, or one bolt here, and then the couple of hangers back there, and drag this exhaust out of here. Here's the beast of an exhaust. There's a teeny tiny catalytic converter into some tiny, what looks like fence post, basically sized exhaust. And it slowly tapers up until we get to the Focus ST muffler, well, resonator, and up into my smoking pipe, my bozo pipe, because it's hilarious and people ask questions, and, you know, let's just leave it at that. That's 3 inches. Way down here is like 2 inches, so that, you know, it makes an inch run over the whole entire course of the exhaust, but it actually is remarkably straight. I'm pretty pleased with that. So I just got to go ahead, clean it up with the wire wheel on all the places where I'm going to weld and or flap disc. And yeah, weld this sucker up. I'm turning the wife loose here. She's doing it. I'm going to have her weld up some of this here, and yeah, totally going to videotape this. Looks pretty good. I think that's passable. I mean, they're making it better. It's alright though. I mean, you've never welded steel before. We'll just keep on going. We're making a welder adjustment and keep going. Thanks to the help of my lovely wife, she got us some weld job going on. She's never welded steel before. This is her first time welding steel, so I'm pretty proud of her. She did it. Not perfect, but they'll definitely do. They're sealed up. I'm digging it. I was just happy to have her out here helping me out. That was really cool. But yeah, she did some pretty decent welds on some crappy material, so yeah. The exhaust is welded. Yay! It's actually the next day because, you know, we welded up the exhaust kind of late at night, and our pizza arrived, and that was about as far as my motivation went. So now back on the Subaru, have to pull the header off and regasket the header, put it back on, and yeah, let's go. Alright, so I got the exhaust all bolted back in. Looks good, except for we have a problem because, you know, can't ever do anything without a problem. It's right back here, annoyingly, just barely rubbing on the rear axle. And as you can tell, my axle boot is torn, but we don't talk about that. So, dang it. I think I have a quick fix for this, though. But yeah, that's frustrating. It's the only place where it touches. Everywhere else looks really good. My quick fix for it is actually here at the very back of the tailpipe here, is I can loosen this hopefully without them breaking, and I can pivot this around, and what it'll do essentially is it will lower the exhaust down just a smidge, and I think we'll be okay. Which this car really needs the exhaust high up, but we got to do what we got to do for now, and I can always custom do it later better. Alright, I dropped it down, got the clearance we needed between the axle. I know it doesn't look like much, but don't need much. Can't get the camera up in there any better, but there's definitely a good inch now, almost, well, quarter to half inch, but it is not touching. However, as a result, the exhaust is actually sitting a little lower down here than I'd like, but I can always cut the tip basically off and bend that up and re-weld it, and it'll be all better. Well, I'd have to say that the time is probably here for me to start it, see what it sounds like, roll underneath it, and check for exhaust leaks, and then go for another drive. Sounds pretty good so far. I don't hear any exhaust leaks, but I gotta roll underneath and make sure that there is no exhaust leaks. Really small hole. I might let the really small holes go for right now and let them carbon up so it'll be a little easier to see. Barely any though. I mean, good job, wife. And me. I mean, I screwed up a few of these too, but it's okay. That one's nice. Check our gaskets. Call that good. I don't hear any manifold leaks. Those are very obvious. I hear a lot of Subaru engine noise because it's a Subaru, but heck yeah, I think it's good to take this thing for a drive. Alright guys, there you have it. Fabricated a new exhaust for the Subaru. Well, most of it anyways. And I know from the clips it's really kind of hard to tell like the before and afters. We really didn't change a whole lot because we used the same resonator in there. That's not really a muffler, that's a Focus ST resonator. But so not a lot changed, but you can definitely hear a lot more coming out of the back of the car and a lot more clarity. I should have did an in-car because you can really tell mostly in-car that, you know, all the exhausts come out the back and not just coming out from underneath the car and being annoying. So there it is. Take care, guys. I'll see you next time.